In 2023, people ask me, why are gangs still active in the U.S.? You know, I said gangs gonna be active until there's no more USA. They're gonna be active. That is this. That is part of the society. That's part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the agenda. You gotta have the evil and good, because most gangs people consider are evils, but not back in the day. We know the true purpose of having gangs back in the day is to protect and help our own people. But that after the 70s and the 80s, after that, when the FBI infiltrated, that ideology is gone. You know what I'm saying? It's gone. So why are these gangs still active today? Right? I was a Vietnamese gang members, right? So we Vietnamese gangs today do not publicly they are not brutal anymore, right? They're not. A lot of us grow out of it, and understand that it's a no-win situation. It's a no-win situation. How you gonna win when the federal government printing money? They're writing laws. You know what I'm saying? They got people that work days and nights. They got the technology that can penetrate through walls. How are you gonna win? You can't win. So most Vietnamese, my generation or older, that become aware of the situation. We grow out of it. And then we know that there's federal law, racketeering law, that designed just for gangs member organization. And for us, that in the Fed, we going to law library, we understand these laws. So when we come home, we grow out of it. We call ourselves brotherhood now. We're not no gangs. We restructure the way we do things. Open a legitimate business. Help educate the young homies. Letting them know that they ain't winning, that we're losing. But we're not going to be able to catch all the young Vietnamese homie or the Asian. We ain't. We can't. Because a lot of, not just Vietnamese, a lot of young generation, they being attracted what being shown on TV, right? Because they're looking up to these celebrities, right? And they fail to realize that a lot of the celebrities, they're all actors. They're actors, man. They're not real life. They're not real life people that actually do these things. They're just actors, man. They're playing roles to entertain people, right? But kids don't see that nowadays, right? So this culture really helped push these kids, man, toward them gangs. 2023, why there's still many active gangs in the U.S.? There's a lot of components, man. I'm telling you, there's a lot of components. But I think the two biggest reasons are economic and geography, man. And geography. How do I know that? I know that because me personally, when I first came to the U.S. as a refugee, I didn't get moved to a good neighborhood because housing was too expensive. I had to go to a low-income neighborhood where rent was like $400, two-bedroom house, back in 1989. You know what I'm saying? And everybody in the areas would be the same like me. But we all good people. You know what I'm saying? And the geography, we if you notice, a lot of people that live in this area, they have no transportation, man. You can't get from, like for an example, I live in Atlanta. The bus ain't running from DeKalb to Gwinnett. You know what I'm saying? But if you ride Ubers or Lyft, you know how much that costs compared to the bus? So if people that have no money, and then job in those areas is not available like that. You know? So it's like they have this type of agenda already being put forth out there, man. It's just like how you if you put a whole bunch of animals in certain areas, and you know, these animals, right? I'm just using these scenarios in no ways to compare us humans to animals, but I'm just using the scenarios. Like you put all these animals in certain areas, and they have certain kind of diets. Like you feed them every single day. But one day you just wanna test them out. Let them go hungry for 1 week or 3 days. And then you come back with a totally separate, different diet than you normally fed this animal. And you wonder if these animals gonna eat this food. What do you think? Hell yeah, it's gonna eat this food. Whatever you fed them. Whatever you feed them, they're gonna eat it. So you put all these people and have no opportunity available, no money, struggling with housing, food, clothing. What you think gonna happen to this area? And the number of opportunities gonna be limited. And this area is limited in opportunity, so what they gonna do? But then you got all these drugs flooding this area. And you know what happened when people are depressed? They either drink alcohol or get on drugs. Sometimes you don't believe that, you know, this is an agenda, but you have to, man. You have to. There's a reason. Can you imagine if there's no gangs in the U.S.? What happened to law enforcement? They will all be laid off. There's no police union. There's no prison being built. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Think about it. So you got that aspect, and also you got this entertainment side keep pushing this dark path, gangs, violence. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. And then you got these cartels come across the borders, pushing drugs over here. You know? Pushing drugs over here. And they got over here not by chance. They got over here because, you know, some of them are allowed to be over here. You have to believe that, man. You know? The reason I say that, man, because I was a Vietnamese gang member, and once I started to see the trap and the evils of society and agenda that put forth, I have to grow out of it. Grow out of it. Because the only ways that you'll be able to become different is you have to see the core entrapments. You know what I'm saying? You have to see that for yourself, man. You have to see that in order for you to get out of your current struggles for a better future. So that's why you see Vietnamese gangs, Chinese triad, any Asian organization, they're not in the news because they're not designed to be violence anymore. Because they don't want to entangle with law enforcement. But now you see a whole bunch of street gangs in the U.S. or young kids group up doing all this crime sprees and shooting and killing because they are not well aware of the traps. You know what I'm saying? They're not well aware of their agendas. They believe in the wrong ideologies of how to become powerful. Instead, to become powerful in their own mind, they have to go and commit certain heinous act, shooting and killing to become powerful. You just try to intimidate people, but they forgot that there's rulers over them. How long will they last? Right? How long? Not very long. You kill someone, sooner or later, within a week, they come and get you. You're doing life. You're doing life. You know? The people in the gangs, they don't see their way out. You know? Because their mind is clouded. And then the people that are not in the gang, regular people that go to work, look at these gang members as outcasts, trash to society, and do nothing to benefit the society. You know? But they struggles too. They struggle because of economic status. That's why people don't have to be in a gang to get stuck in certain job for 10, 15, 20 years and living paycheck to paycheck because they don't know how to grow out of their situation. And they get to a certain point of their life, they're just getting tired. Say, man, I'm settled. 9 to 5, $15 an hour, $17 an hour, all the expenses. Probably ride old car, live in apartments, 1-2 bedroom, roaches crawling everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of problems that we see every day, man. So gangs in America are gonna be active until the U.S. no longer the U.S. because, man, the complexity of our human nature needs to be rewired, man, so we can think different. that we need to think how to grow and get out of our current situation, no matter where we at. You know, if we don't, they got a lot of prison, a lot of bed spaces for them all. And then the funny thing is, right? Any gangs, they probably have like 3-4 racks within their gangs that they don't even know. They don't even know. When the time is right, they come and get them all for the public satisfaction. You see it on TV all the time. You see it all the time. But here, these folks still think they're invincible. You know what I'm saying? They still think they're invincible, man. You are not invincible. And also, when you broke, and you in the gangs, you broke, right? You got these FBI come to you, offer you some money too. Hey, you give us information, we're gonna give you some money. And then we're gonna cover you. We're gonna watch your back. You know? When we prosecute them, you ain't gonna be on a dry net. Stuff like that, man. You don't think they're gonna take the deal? See, this the kind of things that most kids or most ignorant gangsters, they're not gonna know. They think that they're never gonna get caught. See, that's the thing. They want you to think like that. I'm never gonna get caught. Keep gangbanging because you're the reason they still have a job as correctional officers, as law enforcement. You're the reason they're still used as pawns, that they gotta clean up the streets. From gangs to growth. You know, how to do it? How can you, from a gangster into growth, grow to a better position? You do it by seeing the true agenda of what's going on around you, man. That's the first thing you gotta see. Self-aware, man. You gotta see that. What's the next thing? The next thing is you acquire knowledge and skills. And if you can't do that, if you can't acquire knowledge and skills, you're useless, man. See, a lot of us, when we're in the gangs, right, we think we're tough, right? But when we by ourselves, between you and the FBI or you and the detective, you break down and cry like little babies. You know, that's what tell a difference between a true G and a fake one. A fake one break down, start ratting. The true G, he know he living by the code. He step up and take responsibility in whatever he's doing. You know what I'm saying? I'll be able to, as you see in my previous video, 2.3 million investing in cryptos. It's not by chance. First, I'm thankful that God allowed me to be able to do it. 2, with effort, anybody can do it. You don't have to be in a corner of your own life's trouble to start doing it. You start doing it now. It's just your mindset. Do you really want to growth? Do you really want to growth? You know? Ask yourself a question. If you do, change the way you think. Change the way you think. Be aware of their agendas. And they pursue knowledge and acquire skills. You can have a regular job and still aware of the agenda. Why are you still in these jobs? When you know you're smart enough to be in a different position, right? Think about that. As long as they can medicate our mind and thinking we're comfortable where we're at, we ain't gonna have no future, man. From gains to growth, any active gains out there today, it is because they not aware of the agenda. So they're still on the same path until the day they get themselves locked up, doing times, and be a statistic. Vietnamese gangs today, they're not like before. They grow out of it, man. That's it. So if you grow out of whatever situation you might be in, you know what I'm saying? That's the first step of you being a great version of yourself. If whatever I say bring value and benefit to you guys, give me a like to support. If you never subscribe or you haven't subscribed, show me some love, subscribe to my channel. I'm always trying to bring values to you guys, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna let you know just like this. There's a lot of people on YouTube can talk about different things, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm authentic, which is the lack of today, is the authenticity of people, right? Because of the platforms, people can be a totally different person in real life, but then they put it up the front, you know what I'm saying? And not even being real. But that's not me, you know what I'm saying? I'm 100%, I'm real. I'm offer sincere advices and sincere words of inspiration and sincere stories and no made up. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all have a good July 4th. Stay safe. If y'all shoot guns up in the sky, just be careful. You know, don't shoot to the ground diagonally. You know what I'm saying? Just be careful, man. When you use your gun to shoot up in the sky, man, it's dangerous. You know, when the bullets, the gravity and the bullets drop down, they can kill people. Just be careful and be safe, man. One thing about July 4th, me, you know, I don't consider myself old school, but I'm old enough to know the games. July 4th, I don't hit the streets because that's when folks out there go splitting some wigs. You know what I'm saying? I stay home on July 4th and celebrate with families because July 4th is dangerous, man. You know? Y'all stay safe, be blessed, and thank you for y'all taking your time out and tuning in. From gains to growth, let's get it, y'all. Peace.